Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full stack software engineer, and I do other resumes that are not just tech, but tech is in the biggest downturn since, I would say, the dot-com crash, so that is why there's a lot of tech resumes. So this person does not have a ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview, which is how you know how good your resume is. So what we're going to be looking for in a full stack software engineer that I'm going to try to find in 20 seconds, because that is how long recruiters have to find what we need, is, and let's see if I can do this in one breath, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET, or Python, or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, external language, Git, and DevOps. All right, so let's see if I can find it. And away we go. All right, nothing here counts. This formatting is bad, but not the worst. Maintain a full stack, okay. Java, Spring Boot, okay, good. RESTful API, good. And React Native components and JavaScript, perfect. Design and optimize schemas, SQL, implement APIs, okay. With Docker, Bitbucket, CI/CD, good. Yeah, I think I would definitely pass that. That's actually pretty solid. This also goes to show that while this formatting is terrible, you could get a job with bad formatting. Again, the formatting's only purpose is so that I could read more of your resume. So let's look to see what they actually had here, right? They had Java, so this was right up down. This goes away. They had RESTful APIs, which was good. They had HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Again, honestly, because you had something else, because you had Java on the back end, yeah, you don't really need TypeScript, so that counts. We had React, good. And then I think I saw Agile, yep, and other APIs, so perfect. And then I saw CI/CD, good. And that is close to 75%, which is at least enough to move forward to the next stage. So, yeah, I would probably move this forward. Oh, and SQL. They did have SQL. The only complaint I have is I really don't see Cloud or Node.js or anything, which maybe I missed it. Let's take a look. Node, okay, it's down there, which I didn't get that far down because of your formatting. Angular, right, there, I did miss it because of the formatting. But, again, I have it. And I think I would probably find the same for Next.js as well. Next.js... yeah, right down there, but I didn't get to it. So my only issue is Cloud, which, do I see AWS? No. Do I see GCP? Yes, but nowhere else. And do I see Azure? No. So you do need Cloud. But yeah, otherwise it's not a bad resume. You just need to fix the formatting and add Cloud. But let me see what you said. You just started full-time, but you got bait and switched by the company. Boo. I hate when that happens to people. It sucks because I did stuff twice. They put me in the UI UX design role when you were supposed to be a developer. Ugh. Since I don't want to waste my time, started your job search. You don't have a ratio because you just started applying. This resume is for full stack. You also have an ML AI experience. I mean, this is solid. This would pass. This is a good one. You just need to fix the formatting because it was bad enough that I missed a couple of things. Would love to know your thoughts on the following. I know how you feel about skill sections, which are boo, no skill sections. Skill sections don't count. But I've seen some other recruiters who specifically recommend it. Okay, so I'm 50-50 right now. So let me tell you the truth about skill sections and why I don't recommend it. A common question I have is people saying, so wait a minute, Lee, if I write this for you, will I get past the hiring manager? And the answer to that is yeah, because I don't give advice that is specifically tailored to the recruiter or the hiring manager. I give advice that will get you past both, because I don't think it's helpful if I give advice to a candidate that will only get them past another recruiter but get rejected at the hiring manager. And that is actually a key thing about the skill section is skill sections are looked on favorably by recruiters. Recruiters do like to see them, but the problem is hiring managers don't. And if you have a skill that is only in a skill section that is nowhere else in your resume, like you did for GCP, it will get rejected. So I don't tell you to keep this. I don't tell you to reject the technical skills because the recruiter. I tell it because it's irrelevant to the hiring manager who makes the final decision. And this is a case where if you have it here, right down here, you don't need it here, because you have to show how you did it, the reason and result you did it, and the where you did it. And that's why the skill sections don't count. So how, the reason and result, and where. And bad, I don't want to say bad, I would say entry-level recruiters, or recruiters that are not as knowledgeable necessarily in it, will advocate for a technical skill section because it is beneficial. But more senior recruiters will tell you that it's not good because, again, it will get past them, but it will not get past the hiring manager. So that is why you should not have a skill section. It's not for the people like me, but for the hiring manager. And then how bad of a flag is it for recruiters to see that I'm looking for jobs so soon after starting? I'd say it's a pretty yellow flag. The thing is, your work experience is so far so junior that I don't think it's the worst ever. I would say that if you did this again, it would be a problem, but as of this video, you have been there for 3-ish months. It may be beneficial to not put it on, but you can also tell them in the interview, like, hey, I really like the company. Unfortunately, the job was not as advertised, and I was looking for something else, and had I known that, I would not have started in the first place, which is also why you don't bait and switch candidates, because they will leave you, companies. That is what we try not to have them do. So don't bait and switch, but that is what you can tell people. So it is potentially a yellow flag, but also we are approaching the time where recruitment shuts down. So there's like nothing that goes on between the week before November and January, the second week of January in recruitment. So it's entirely probable that even with a fantastic resume, you will not get moved forward until the new year. So don't panic if that happens. That's normal. And then about 5 to 6 months is fine. So you just tell them honestly during the interview that, I really like the company, but unfortunately the role was described differently, and had I known, I probably would not have started in the first place. So don't throw them under the bus. Just say that there was some slight miscommunication. In open positions, I see new grad and junior dev jobs are good fits for me, but new grad positions are looking for fall, and dev jobs want 1 to 2 years. So very, 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 very big companies will have new grad jobs at those times. Other companies, as long as you can start within 3 weeks or 3 months of submitting your application, you're good. So I don't think you're going to get filtered out as much as you think. There are much more jobs that are 3 months in advance than there are fall and summer grads. Is recruiter outreach on LinkedIn worth it? No, because you apply for a job you already put in front of us. I know the most important bucket is experience, but what if I don't have certain experience for that job specifically? For example, I have cloud, but I have some projects I'm doing right now that I plan on putting on my resume. There you go. That was exactly what I said, but a recruiter might not even get to the projects portion. We will not, and I will say the lack of cloud is a bit of an issue, but it's not like the end of it, right? Remember, you need about 75% of this to move forward, which I've deleted all of it, but 75% of this, which you did actually have. So don't panic too much if you don't have it. What you can do is just shrink maybe your internship experience and put your projects there. But yeah, I wouldn't panic too much about it. Sorry for so many questions. Just trying to optimize the best I can. I'd love to join the stream when you review it. Any way for me to know when you're live with my resume? I don't have a good system for that. I'm hoping to make it before the end of the new year, but you can always ask me on stream where your resume is, and I will give you that. And for the record, for new people, I live stream these reviews on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter. That is where I get the qualifications from, and I help people out beyond just this. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Join me on that if you ever need more help, and let's go to the next resume. But overall, this is not a bad resume. Just needs some formatting issues, which, again, this is on my website. This is on my website. It will teach you how to do it. You want to use this formatting. I swear to you, it'll make it way better. Next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. So what we're going to be looking for in a data scientist is Python, R, SQL, data in all of its forms. So data modeling, data analytics, data, whatever. As long as it has data in front of it, it's probably good. Industry. So there's going to be some very specific industry qualifications that I'm just not going to be able to get, unfortunately. But healthcare, SDLC, that kind of stuff. Explaining stuff to non-technical folk. This is massive. Like, most of your job is going to be this, and I need to see it in the resume. Influencing stakeholders, cross-functional. Cloud, AWS, GCP, Azure, Microsoft Office applications, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, AI, LLM, ML, NLP, Spark, Skibbity, Learn, Pandas, NumPy, dashboards, data visualizations, Tableau, Power BI, and ETL. So can I find that? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1, and search. Oh, this is a nightmare to read. Okay, customer-facing AI, okay, whatever. Python, good. Did I get the right resume? There's like nothing here for a data scientist. I mean, cloud, AWS, and one Python. Yeah, this is definitely rejection. I got to double check to make sure I got the right resume. Is this the right resume? Did I accidentally pull up the wrong one? And no, I did not. Yeah, so this is you do not want your recruiter to have that thought of, did they apply to the wrong role because the resume is so chaotic. So as an international student who takes them over 150 applications, they're struggling to even land an interview. Since August 2023, I've submitted over 3,000 applications, but only a few have resulted in an interview. Based on the fact that you're international and how this resume is, that does not shock me. This is a very, very bad resume. It's been an exhausting process, and sometimes it feels discouraging. That's why I truly appreciate work that you trying to help students like me. No worries. Many servers out there for a lot of money. Yeah, so if I asked for money for this, I could probably charge on average $250 per resume review. I don't do that because I don't feel good taking money from candidates. If you wanted to donate, I'd be happy to take that, but I don't feel right charging people for it. See, a lot of money, which is why it's difficult to manage international, so your report means a lot. It's an opportunity to help me get one step closer to my goals. I would be deeply grateful. I truly admire your efforts in supporting students and making a difference. Thank you so much. No worries. I am glad to help. So, with the full disclosure that, again, we are approaching the, dead zones of hiring in November, December, which, nothing happens. Don't panic if you get nothing there. That is normal year over year over year. But the biggest job boom of the year is always January to March. So you have absolutely nothing for the next 2 months, and then everything happens, and then it stabilizes. But we need to fix this resume. So first off, your formatting is awful. This is how your formatting needs to be. And if you're going for a data scientist role, I don't think you need this bachelor's here. You can just keep this. Keep this one line, no bolding. Remove your skills section. Skills sections don't count. I can't use anything there. Then we do here. So the biggest problem with this is if you are applying for a data scientist role, I need to actually see stuff that's related to data scientist. So if you noticed, I found Python. I'm going to count AI as a bonus question. So AI, right? We found a little bit of AI. That's good. LangChain, Spark, blah, blah, blah. And then I have nothing else. Nothing else here. Python and AI, that's all I found. And if I go down here, maybe SQL. And if you notice, you only need about 75% of this stuff to get an interview, and you don't have that. I'm not a math person. I don't know how much a percentage is, but 3 out of all of these is not enough. So your resume needs to be completely rewritten. So this is what we need you to do, okay? I need you to show me how this is actually relevant to data scientists, because I don't see it. I don't see where the industry is. I don't see how you explain complex topics to non-technical people. I don't see any Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Google Sheets. That is critical. I don't see it. I need to see that. I don't see dashboards or data visualization. That is massive. That is one of the biggest ones. And I just don't see any of it. Oh, all the way down here. Yeah, no one's going to get that far down. Yeah. So this is your issue, is this doesn't even read like a data scientist. And if you look at the data scientist ones, this is what they're looking for, right? You need to be very focused. If you make a resume that is for both AI and data scientist and machine learning, you're not going to get anything. And your job is already 3 times harder because you're international. So I need you to go back to the drawing board, remake this resume, and I need you to tell me just what you did, right? Like, what industry was this? Like, you could say, created, let's see, what even did you do? Created clinical data sets using SQL and Python to ensure HIPAA compliance for something else. Like, I don't care about accurate reporting across multiple stakeholders. I want to know how you spoke with them, how you influenced them. Because there's a weird thing where you've spent the last, my goodness, 7 years, give or take, in school. Okay? You've spent close to 7 years in school. And once you get out of school, something very weird happens. And that in school, what matters is that you are accurate, that you have deployed a fast API, that you are correct, that everything you did was exactly correct, and you needed to prove while you're right. But once you get your first corporate job, they're not going to care. It's assumed that you're right, and there's a problem if you're not, to be clear, you could be fired, but they care about how you influence stuff by being right. They don't care how you got the answer. They just care that you show what you did with the answer, and I don't see that. So I'm going to need you to redo this, and I'm going to need you to look at what they actually care about in these job descriptions, because you're just like shouting how qualified you are, but it doesn't matter because we're not looking for this. Like, the goal is to show relevancy. And to use a food metaphor, because I do this before eating lunch, and I think everybody has to eat, so they're good metaphors, is if there was a restaurant that was well known for sushi, and you went there, and you were so excited about their sushi, and then you went there, and then they gave you French fries and a hamburger, you would be upset. And yeah, maybe that French fried hamburger are great, but you did not go to this restaurant for French fries and hamburger. You went here for sushi. And that is the same thing. Maybe you are a fantastic AI developer, a phenomenal AI developer, best in the world. That doesn't matter because I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a data scientist. So focus on what they're looking for. Remove the skills section. Seriously, they're really bad. And make sure that it is relevant for that role. And if you need to make 3 resumes, then make 3 resumes. That is okay. But that is all I can do for this resume, and let's go to the next one. This is a resume of I don't know. So when you submit your resume to me, I need you to be very specific. This person said software engineer or web development. Cool, that tells me nothing. Software engineers are divided into multiple categories, such as full stack, backend Python, backend Java, backend C#.net, and front end. Also, there are more than that. Those are the 5 most common, and embedded software engineer as well. So when you submit your resume to me, if you do not tell me what developer you are, I am going to roll a 6-sided die right here, and whatever it lands on, that is what I'm reviewing you as. This person asked for more tech positions. Cool. You need to make sure your resume is on title with what the market is calling the position you want. This is critical. If you cannot do this, you will have failed from the get-go. So that is why I'm doing this, and why I'm trying to be cruel to be kind, is I'm trying to show you that if you have the wrong title of the role you're going for, and your resume is not tailored for that title, you will get rejected. So, we're rolling this D6. Yes, I'm a huge nerd. Pathfinder is amazing. We got a 2. So, for a 2, what that means is we are reviewing this as a back-end Python developer. Maybe they actually are. I don't know, but you didn't tell me, and that is the problem. So, let's get this up. So in the US, at least, a back-end Python developer, these are the qualifications that I would want. Whoop. And let me fix the formatting real quick. Boop. So Python is Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, and its words. So AWS and EC2. I don't know the equivalent of that for Azure or GCP, honestly. RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and one of these, full stack, AI, NumPy, ML, etc., DevOps, or fast APIs, Flask, and Django, along with Kubernetes, ETL, and MongoDB as a bonus. So that is what I'm looking for. Can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's go. All right, nothing here can be used. Project manager. Okay, there's nothing there. I would probably reject this. Okay, intern is JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. That's not what I'm looking for in a Python developer. SQL, all right, there we go. And that's it. Yeah, so you would get immediately rejected. So nothing here counts. The fact that you start off as a project manager, which is wild because that's not what I'm looking for. And then you have your internship here. So what you should do is delete this, keep this, delete this, and then go in with your projects. But again, your projects don't tell me what I need either. So, and your degree is all the way at the bottom, but your education at the top. I missed it. I didn't actually know you had one. I thought you were a self-taught dev, and right now having a degree looks good. So put that up at the top. So this is the problem with this resume, is everything. You did not tell me what you're looking for, and you have almost none of the qualifications I would actually be looking for in this. These are the actual qualifications. It doesn't matter that you developed a BERT-based machine learning model for automated fake news classification using Hugging Face transformers. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't care. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying it needs to be very specific. So this is quick, but this also shows exactly why your resume is failing. So don't do what this person did. What you should do is instead tailor it to the job title you want, not the job itself. The job title, you may need 3 to 4 separate resumes. Use those resumes to mass apply. And please don't put a summary or a skill section. It is completely irrelevant except for very, 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 very niche reasons. So don't put this here. Make sure it's actually here and here. And please put in what we're actually looking for. And be specific, because generalized resumes do not get interviews. Next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. So weirdly enough, despite the rant I made about software engineers in the last resume, that doesn't apply to interns. Interns don't need to pick a stack. Interns are interns. Sometimes when you're like master's or PhD level interns, you need to be a little bit more specific. But for most cases, an intern is an intern, whether they're doing front end or back end or whatever, it doesn't matter. So that rant I did only applies once you graduate. Before that, it doesn't matter what you put down. An intern is an intern. And this person has a 1 in 75 ratio, which is honestly not the worst. It's not great, but internships are highly competitive, so I'm expecting this to be bad, but not unsalvageably bad. And they didn't write me any note, so what we're looking for is very simple in an intern. Is degree, basic knowledge of tech stack, language, library, SQL Cloud, ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism, and that's kind of it. The internships are not a lot. So, let's go. All right, formatting I don't like, but whatever. Reduce manual entry with Django and what? OpenAI API. They would like that. External RAG systems, React, Firebase, RESTful APIs, real-time scheduling, processed. For conducting code reviews, that's actually pretty solid. I like that sentence. And yeah, wait, why have you been a lead and you're going back to being an intern? What? Okay, that's wild to me, but this is not the worst. So yeah, this is again, I think this is probably the equivalent of a C- resume. It passes, but barely, but it passes. It's very on the edge of it. So first off, this is a nightmare to read. Please use this. Your recruiters will thank you, and your interviews will improve. So second, we need to delete this because it's not needed. Third, this needs to be one line, not bolded. This can be deleted. Nothing here should be bolded. And then I need you to reduce this weird language stuff, right? Like, I don't care about reducing manual data entry. I don't care about that at all. But the rest of it is fine, except I also don't know why a PDF processing system... Okay, I guess you made it. This whole sentence is very confusing to me. But the thing is, if they get past this sentence, you actually have better bullet points below it. It's just, this is a very confusing sentence to me. I don't know why I care about manual data entry. I do like Django, but I don't know what PyMu PDF is. I don't think I care about that at all. But the second one is fine because it's a vector-based RAG system, which is good. I don't know what FLAV is, but OpenAI is good. AWS is great with S3 for HIPAA compliant storage. That's fine. Then here, this is the part I'm confused because you're the software lead and then you're going to an intern. But how you wrote this is correct, right? Like React, Firebase, RESTful APIs, and CSS. Managed agile developer process for 20 members of the team, conducting code reviews, sprint planning, and technical design while maintaining CD pipelines. That's great. That's exactly what they would be looking for because that shows that you can work together as a team. If anything, I'm missing the basics. Like, I would prefer you to just put, like, here is led the development of a full stack tutor management platform using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, right? Like that would have been perfect. Your issue is you overcomplicated it. Like if you just simplified this down a little bit and made it easier to read and added just a little bit of stuff from here, right? It would be a lot better. Because the sentences where you did like 80% or PyMu PDF are not good, but the rest of them are actually written pretty well. Like seriously, these two are phenomenal sentences. Would I prefer you had a little bit like either Python or JavaScript, HTML, and CSS? Yes, but well, there's CSS, but it's still not badly written. I want you to write the rest of it like this because this alone basically saves you. Yeah, that alone basically saves you. So that's what you need to do, right? Because if you want more internships, I look like I'm about to fly away with my head. That is how you want to write it, because it's too technical, right? It's too technical. It's not what I'm looking for. But this is beauty in its simplicity, and I need you to write more like that. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So this person doxed themselves. Please don't dox yourselves. We were doing so well. There was like 9 resumes in a row where there's nobody that doxed. Because I cannot show the rest of this, otherwise it will dox them. So I do these live. Please stop. So for a full stack software engineer, we want the same thing as we did in the first part of the video. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, all that good stuff. So let's see if we can find it in 20 seconds. And go. C#. Okay, good. No. Nope. There's nothing here about full stack I would want. C#.NET, CI/CD pipelines, and SQL a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't read like a full stack. I don't know why I would need this. I think mobile devs want MVC or MVVM, but I don't need that. Like, this kind of reads like a mobile dev, honestly. But it's been a bit since I've looked at that, so I might be incorrect. So I feel that my resume emphasizes legacy technologies like C# and .NET, while my exposure to newer tech, such as React, Java, and Go, come from projects. Curious if it makes my profile look unbalanced and not eligible for new roles in a startup. So the reason you're having trouble is not because of that. It's because you just don't list anything on your resume. The only thing I see here is C# and .NET and MVC, and that's it. Nothing else on here is usable, right? Like, again, C# .NET, fine. That's actually good. That is a qualification, so I can remove this. But where's the TypeScript, the JavaScript, the CSS, the HTML, the Node.js, the Angular, the Next.js, the GraphQL, the SQL, which I think I saw out of the corner of my eye at the bottom. Yeah, down here is SQL, same as CI/CD, but that's it. There's nothing else. Like, you have sent me almost an entirely blank piece of paper. Because where is it here? You say it here. I don't see it here. This does not count. This does not count. It has to be here. To the point where, like, I don't really know how else to really help you because there's really nothing here. This is completely blank. So, yeah, there's, like, nothing here. That's my problem. Like, all I see was 3 things. CI/CD, C#.NET, SQL. That's it. I need more. Oh, and Git. There we go. I missed Git. I need you to write what they're actually looking for. So it's not that these are legacy tech or that startups find this unappealing or not, because startups can, but it's the fact that your resume is blank. You have submitted almost nothing that I was actually looking for. I don't care about a scalable, responsive UI component with XAML. I care about Angular, which I missed because you wrote a bunch of other random stuff and my eyes went past it. I don't care about high impact production issues. I don't even see the full stack that you used. So your biggest problem is that you've completely missed the point of what we're looking for. We're looking for this, not whatever this is. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you led a building analysis tool that improved debugging efficiency by 1.5 times. It matters that you use TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. It matters that you use Node, Next.js, and SQL along with RESTful APIs in a cloud environment. It matters that you were in an agile CI/CD cross-functional environment, which one of those you did. You did have CI/CD. So That's the stuff that actually matters. Whatever you wrote was not. So that's all I can do for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you all in the next video, where you will like, comment, and subscribe, to help you get ahead of your job search.